So this is where it all comes down to. If both these players do manage to win one game of one another, though, then that does mean we're going to go into the ace match. So that would give us a single more game, and that also means that these players, or both teams actually, I should say, well, get a bit of points. One of the winner of the ace match gets 2, the loser gets a single point. So it's still, you get something for your troubles, but of course both these players would love to be able to give their team the 2-0 victory here and obtain all the points that they could desire and that they could possibly gather up in this one. The more points you can gather up in the earlier parts of the tournament, especially against strong opponents such as Shopify Rebellion and the Afrika Freaks, the better off you're going to be later down the road, right? The more momentum might be growing here because people are going to be looking at your statistics. They're going to be looking at how your team did against the other teams. And, wow, they beat Shopify Rebellion. Wow, they beat these guys. They beat those guys. Oh, they beat the Afrika Freaks. All right. You know, those guys, they are definitely quite tough. It becomes more difficult in the mental game as well, a little bit. If you're a team that just keeps losing 0-6, right? And that is, and those are some harsh statistics to be looking at. It could undermine your play a little bit as well. Destroy the confidence that you need so desperately as a StarCraft 2 player to play to the highest level. Right, yeah, very standard plays from both these guys so far. Slight deviation with another Widowmine coming out here for BYUN. TY, I believe, was opting to get himself the reactor a little bit sooner. And a tech lab for a siege tank as well. Gets both his Reapers out there with 1 HP remaining though, miraculously. The TVT man strikes again. Oh, there's the webcams. Look at those handsome fellas. Oh, that is rough. BYUN getting right on top of that command center there at the last seconds. Delaying it quite a bit, actually. We're not going to be able to delay it for a little bit longer with the 2 Reapers here, kind of patrolling the area. An SCV should have been sent along. I think we are seeing one going down the ramp right now. No, actually. It's still being delayed. Wow, okay. TY prioritizing the army movement there, trying to deal with the Reapers. The Reapers. Oh, thank you for the tip. Tiag. Much appreciated, Unknown. Did I miss any other tips that were happening? Curie also. Wow, thank you for that, Tiag, as well. Didn't realize what was happening back at the time. Much appreciated. Alright, anyway. Those are like tips you can give in the Trovo thingamajig. Oh, a little bit of SCV damage here being taken. That is quite a couple right now. That is being added up quite quickly. There's some Marine infiltration force as well in the base of TY, and they're doing some damage as well. Not as much. Funnily enough, the work count's entirely equaled out right now. Or as close as it can get. Mining of the natural base still being denied here for BYUN though for a little bit longer. So I think TY slightly taking the upper, the lead in that one, the upper hand. Slightly? It's hard to say. Maybe that's just my TY prejudice, seeing the supplies right now. I mean, the army supply for BYUN is looking rather strong right here. But if he's going to try to be aggressive, then maybe that is going to be... Whoa, does he get out of there? No way. Wow. Wow. No! Run, siege tank, run! Get out of there! Oh, he still gets it as well. No mercy for the siege tank. Nice spreading out of those marines. Good target fire from the siege tank as well ensues. Viking lands on the ground. More of these SCVs are going to go down. 8 of them in total. And that puts TY on the back foot economically quite badly. And BYUN making good use of having the overall army supply advantage right there. And striking swift and strong against this opponent right there. Third base is being constructed again a little bit earlier here for BYUN. So definitely looks like he kind of got himself a flipped upside down table situation here. All of a sudden he is the player with the economic advantage. He's starting up those 2 engineering base right now as well. That's going to put TY a little bit on the back burner also. TY wants to make something happen here with a double drop of medevacs. I'm not sure if that Widowmine did have the vision to see that this is coming. He already has Vikings and a Raven patrolling the skies. That is directly to intercept the pathing of the medevacs right now. If they were to keep following that direct path, they are boosting forward. See the Vikings and turn around instantly. As well they should. Not the place where really where you want to try and make your move happen right then and there. More Vikings now here available as well. Became even more difficult to use that area for TY. Is he going to try it again? I don't think he will. He's going to try to use this moment. Yeah, he will. Okay, okay. I think he's going to send his siege tanks across with his marines here. He's kind of saying, alright, well, you're not on your third base just quite yet. This might be a really good opportunity to just kind of grab your third base location with a couple of siege tanks. Make it more difficult for you to get that third base acquired, and then we'll be able to get ahead again with our own third base, mining a lot earlier on. Right, so very smart move here from TY. Will it come into fruition? Will it be able to be successfully executed here? That's the question. BYUN on the really on the verge of moving himself out as well here. But it looks like TY just has a bit of a better opportunity to get his forces in a good siege position. Although he's moving around the mountainside quite heavily. So it's taking him a while to really start sieging up. And honestly, the siege of BYUN here is pretty darn good. It's not bad. They really exploded, those marines. Brings his siege tanks back. BYUN kind of considering that, trying to go for the Viking land, perhaps. Especially with the Raven now full on energy. Could have tried to make something happen there, but too wary of what could potentially lie behind those sources, of course. Again, TVT, a lot about baiting, a lot about just kind of being able to take the better trades here. TY trying to take out a lot of those Vikings with the Marines, but I don't think he's taking the better end of that one. Trying a drop into the main base as well, but BYUN on top of things brings his own medevac drop. And now we'll be able to shut down the rest of these siege tanks moving forward, bringing SCVs. Marines coming off the line though. No, wait, more Marines. No, they're running back. The 2 siege tank, enough to force it backwards. And TY going from a bad position to a worse position. Trying to force that third base to not mine on that location. Really not going as he planned. Had no real opportunity to, well, I guess he had an opportunity to put his forces there, but he wasn't quite sure which third base was going to be taken either, of course. So yeah, a bit of a shame that TY didn't manage to get the positional advantage, and now even got punished because of it. Losing big portions of his army here, without much in return. BYUN now again the one with the initiative here, it seems. Looking for the offensive. TY, he might be going for the counter. No, okay, he's sticking around his neighborhood. I mean, his army supply nowhere near the amount of BYUN, especially that siege tank number here. Looking rather rough for TY. His 4th base does get cancelled. The marine number of BYUN is just so much higher at this moment in time. GG is called. We have ourselves a blue Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion, BYUN. Top left side, the Africa Freaks representing a red Terran player, TY. TY opting to go for the gas first here. Might indicate a quicker command center, funnily enough. We'll have to see if he takes that second gas as well. Because if he doesn't, this is a good way to have the single gas. Still have your factory at a reasonable time, and then, you know, you just have a quicker mineral uptake for the, afterwards for the command center. You have to spend those 75 extra minerals to gain the extra gas income anymore. Because you just started mining gas sooner. See, still no second gas here for TY. 300 minerals in the bank. That's looking like an expansion indeed. That should give him a slight lead overall with the situation here. No second supply depot though, just quite yet, so BYUN will be able to get a good scout off in here, unless if he just turns around. Assumes things look normal. Okay, now he sees it, now he knows. What's his response going to be? Try and farm up as quickly as possible for his own command center. Still goes for the factory around the same time. I mean, you kind of have to. You did manage to gather up all that gas. It's a small opportunity here, perhaps for BYUN, right? Where that 400 minerals for TY is still stuck in the command center. BYUN might be able to utilize that 400 minerals here in order to get a couple of extra fighting units on the field and then go across. But we'll just go for his own command center as well. Puts it on the low ground, so tries to make up for the fact that he's a little bit slower in that manner. Starports with a tech lab being created here, but for TY, I'm not sure if that is going to be transferred. Most likely will be, right? Raven's a powerful tool. I don't expect any benchy play from either of these players, but then again, at the same time, maybe both that makes one of them more likely to go for the benchies. Because both of them are incredibly solid in the TVT matchup. You would assume that there is going to be counter benchy play incorporated into these plays. Weird engagement overall here. Nice micro from both of these players, I have to say. Wonderful dance, but TY does manage to come out on top. He's making concussive shell here with a couple of marauders. Not something you see every day. Goes across with the Hellions here as well. This could be a very quick finish. Those concussive shells make it very difficult for SCVs and Marines to get on top of things. And then the Hellions might just be able to burn everything else. With BYUN having lost his Reapers and his 2 Hellions here, this could be quite the mess. Though he is kind of similar on army supply right now. He does have a siege tank. The drop on top of the siege tank right here with the Marauders. Trying to just target everything down that he can. The siege tank falls. The medevac still stands. 2 SCVs go down so far, and still more to come. Viking trying to get on the ground as well, but quickly realizes that is not a fight he wants to take. Marauders, I mean, need to break down the bunker. Don't think they'll be able to do much more, especially with another siege tank here. Was that worth it? I'm not entirely sure. I think it was pretty good. Yeah, look at all those SCVs still not mining here, actually. Really good. Killed off a siege tank as well. Yeah, that was really good. TY now ahead on supply slightly, but surely. Doesn't have the situation this time either, where BYUN does have a bigger army. Actually, TY the one with the bigger army this time around. So a counterattack much more difficult for BYUN to do, as we saw him in the previous game, where he suddenly managed to regain control of the entire match. Very, very much more difficult to do in this situation. Liberator could be a good start, of course. Let's see how TY manages to respond to this. Looks like BYUN waits with the Liberator until he has some sort of a diversion going, or knows that TY is out busy on the map with something else. Scan comes in, sees the Raven counts. Sees pretty much everything here. Scan for TY as well, both of them trying to ensure that no crazy stuff is being built in their opponent's base. It's good to also kind of have an eye out on how many production facilities does your opponent have. Are they going crazy with like 4th bases or something like that? There's only so much you can make, and if you know how many production facilities they have, you can kind of have a feel for how much stuff they can have at that point as well. Alright, BYUN and TY now scanning each other's armies, trying to figure out what type of position play they can make here. Liberator comes in at the same time. TY not yet responding. Taking quite a bit of time here. 7... Oh, no, only 6. I thought that one more shot would have been able to get released there, but the Vikings got there in time. Save the 7th SCV. But 6 of them fall, and that's a good trade there for BYUN, of course. Just has to be careful not to overstep his boundaries here and lose those siege tanks all of a sudden. He's moving backwards. It's equilibrium in the army and worker supplies. Upgrades here. TY already having that +1 weapon attack coming up. I don't think BYUN did any investments into those upgrades just quite yet. Yeah, only now, well, I say only now, pretty close to TY's +1 actually. But, there's this armor as well. Yep. Yeah, so definitely some some equal opportunities here for both players overall. Nice snipe from the Vikings. BYUN making life difficult for TY here. Always like to see a couple of, well, maybe 1 or 2 Liberators also being mixed in with this clump of Vikings. That way you can really start bullying your opponents. Force his Marines into your siege tank line, or well, be in a lot of trouble if he has more Vikings than you, of course. Well, getting the extract here isn't too bad. It slows down a lot of the gas mining here for TY. Not the worst thing to lose resources-wise for a Terran player, of course. Oh my, that is a lot of damage. 7 of the SCVs instantly dead, but the Vikings now stuck up against this wall. TY not giving chase, realizing the siege tanks are there. But this cost BYUN a lot of his Vikings. He's got some harassment in his main base as well happening. Not entirely certain what's going on there, but maybe a small drop coming in, taking place. Don't land those Vikings. Gets his own siege tanks involved. Lovely play. Cleans it up. No more high ground vision there for BYUN. Needs to get these siege tanks out. TY actually starting to wrap around this force. I think he wants to cut off any type of reinforcements that could potentially come in here. and then ensure that this army will not be able to retreat. Although he's moving back his own forces now to this area, so... Maybe he doesn't want to commit too many forces on that side in case there is a Doom Drop or something like that. Could be the case. BYUN still maintaining this position, though. A little bit surprised that he's holding there with just the siege tanks and just a few marines. Alright, yeah, moves back now. Those 5 siege tanks, they're quite valuable, and it wasn't too hard to imagine TY being able to pick those off. TY playing a very cautious game. BYUN not so much. Is trying to get everything here on the top side immediately and is being punished extremely heavily. Oh, it was not anticipating that amount of siege tanks still to be available for TY there. TY also with the sensor tower. Being able to just stim his marines straight on in there. Get them underneath the underbelly of the siege tanks and the medevacs before they're ready to fight. BYUN trying to find another opportunity here. Will go for the left flank. Only a single siege tank there, and that did go a lot more favorable for him. But still, not seeing a lot of opportunities to break TY. Unless if TY decides to move forwards himself with his own marines here. There we are. The Liberators are coming in right now. Siege tanks not quite ready yet to defend the Liberators, so struggling a little bit. Now you want to try to move your siege tanks, and then of course the Liberators. It's quite a weird dance of micro. Preferably they both siege up around the same time, of course, but gotta be careful not to allow those Marines the opportunity to shoot the Liberators for free. 3 medevacs for TY. TY has been in a pretty solid position for a while now, but he hasn't been able to really do anything across the map, and this could start to change very quickly here. The 3 medevacs in the natural base. That's a ton of damage that's going to be taken here by BYUN. Could lose those 2 engineering bases as well. A lot of supply depots. And yeah, there we are. The engineering base are being targeted down. No way they're going to be making a comeback here. 1 siege tank, not enough to clean this up. 1 more siege tank on the high ground. Is he going to lose the command center here? Oh my god, BYUN, everything going to ham and a biscuit in a matter of seconds. Here we are, the Marines pushing on forwards for BYUN. Not going to be able to get a lot done, and that is going to be GG most likely here. TY cleans it up and ensures another 1-1. And that brings us into the ace match.